Hey, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Hanua Kudouna. Coming to you live on a Friday night. If Phil Roberts ends up hearing this, happy birthday, mate. Sorry I didn't get there. But also, if you end up hearing this, mate, it means I've gone viral and pretty bit of a big deal within the family. Yeah, so this one was in a long time coming. I was sick for a while and still sick. Just got my meds today, and thanks to my doctor. But we'll crack on now, and we'll head into episode 9, I think, of Hanua Kudouna, and it's actually about Donna Kent, the policeman. Alright, so once again, we're going for that small chat sort of looking thing, and people are, I don't know, perhaps at the party tonight. They're going, Yabadaka, and people probably say, Nabe Willie, that's Willie. Yabadaka Kara Gaukare, what do you do for work? And then the response is, Iana Polisi Tauna. Pretty basic stuff, but you're communicating it in Motogaro, and that's pretty cool. Where's he work? Kabucha Egaukara. Ekaralayam. Yeah, Kabucha. So he got his work cut out for him at Kabucha. I don't envy him. And then the guy Evare, or when did he go into the force? Lagani, the response is Lagani Rua, Banka Yegao Karabena, Banka Murina, ya Polisi Marona Evare. So that's a long-winded way of saying, maybe a bit disjointed as well with my grammar. Lagani Rua, 2 years, Banka Yegao Kara. In the bank he worked. It's a bit of a hit at the local branch at the Gap. Ego Karabena Banka Murina. After the bank, Polisi Marona. He went straight into the police. He did like 6 months training, but you know, who's counting? I went to a ceremony. I think Al even went as well. Yeah, maybe Al and Jack were here at the time. What else happened? Yeah, he did his course. Got pepper sprayed. That was I was like, whoa, this guy's tough. And then the story started coming after when he started, and I was like, sounds like the job for me, mate. Where does Will stay? Yeah, Bedeka Noho. Will's a North Side Rough Rider. Yeah, Pitria Noho. And a Beseida. Sorry. He stays with his family at Petrie. And Alagani Berahida, and Alagani 31. 31, you could probably say. He doesn't have to say da, would just mean he's already. 31 February, been 30 Dabail. Yeah, in February he'll turn 32. Even now I heard of it, that's Mauro. Nothing to ever hear, or how many children has he had? Memero Rua. Albert Donna, but Henry Lohiela Radien. Not sure if that's fully correct, but you're gonna say that that's their names. 2 boys. Well done, mate. Alright, going now into our song, we're looking at the Lord's Prayer in Motu again. And I would like to try something cool and fresh. Not really, I just always thought that they could do a longer song, but keep the tune the same and just say the whole Lord's Prayer rather than just half of it. So I'll do my best at singing that, the continuation of the Lord's Prayer, but I've chopped words out, and you can let me know if it's a bit of a hack job, but hope it's worthwhile. let's hear it from the pros first, and then I'll try to put my spin on it. It's gonna sound terrible. Kubaye karamuna heto haridina yamehenima emadi kabaye gwawata hedibakani asio kauma kubaye kara Munaheto haridina yamehenima emadi kabae gwawatau edibagani asia kauma. Yeah, so that little bit at the end is the rest of the Lord's Prayer. But if you didn't know the Lord's Prayer, Tamamai gubai noho, our Father who lives in heaven, laramuna helaga, your name is holy. Hemu basile abana, your kingdom come. Hemu urabana vara, your will be done. Gubai karamuna heto, that was when I started the new bit. Gubai karamuna heto, like they do it in the heavens, but that's also sky. Haridina ame henimai, I got rid of the bame, which is a request, forgive us this day our daily bread. I said Haridina ame henimai, meaning more more of a demand, I guess. That's just to shorten it to fit. Emadiga ba hegwawa tau, I added hegwawa. But forgive us our sins is that bit. I say harika muimu tau dia dika agwau tau munaheto, as we forgive those who sin against us. Hediba gane basio hakau mai variai, lead us not into temptation. Adika amabahamarimai, but deliver us from evil. So yeah, I hope that you think that that's decent translation, and someone that catches me with someone and they do the full Lord's Prayer. I think that's a worthwhile thing to do. Or you motu koi tabu assembly mob. Alright, going to our Bible verse. I've started going back to the book of Halaga on the papers, and my old Bible given to me by an old friend, rather than my phone apps. Best thing to do here is follow along when I'm reading, and especially if you've already read it, it's good to get it multiple times in multiple ways. 7.
Neimadia amo ranu e karu bona maladi amo e petata e tauri na sina utoi. Already boja na e tuiti ho ranu e dodo. Mena Yehova se kiri ne hamaru e to. Ranu e petata e tauri e sina utoyo toyosi. Eria amo lawa se boy na hamare mui. Pona midian tauri na ui mamua e boy na atodia. Already e boja e whakahudia nege. Tata e na huma baela. Tauna puna e hodo na tauni e madia amo e api. Puna edia kiwi da. Puna gini se Israel already. I bodia e si idea lo. Ta e na kalaga e la. Sina hutoyo si mua e dogo dia tau. Midian taudi e dia taruha. Na ia henuna e kourai. Gideon e hasanadoa. Unano boy Yehova se mahamaru e tau. Atori isi. Hake lau e dia taruha e ba tuari henidia. Abamagari imuisi ai tauna pura ida ba hake lau. Taruha body nai. E dia herba bakamonai. Kabel mo imam ba e koada ba hake lau. E dia taruha e ba tuari henidia. Mena esi ai tauna pura ida hake lau. E alabona tuari tauri e taruha isina. Eki magabunai. Midian tauri e bona amenek. Tauri e bona mairivei na kahana tauri boi na kourai e taruha i dia na hutu maherea wari na heheto. E dia kamelo dan asiri dua dia. Kone mire na ina heto. Gideon e kaunega na i tau ta ese. E na nihi sivarai na kauna ta e marala e toka akamana i launa nihi. E kunihi ai Bali tike na ta e kei. Mai midian taruha nai. Kalaga autai e tata kau pena kalaga na e kono e heki hito kuita anuai. Mena babona na e hare tu hina na Gideon yosa wasa Israel tauna ina dare. Tira vese midian mai na ore i donai ida ia imanai wale atodia. Gideon e he gai. Gideon e se una nihi I paura na bangani na I ha hedina raina e kamonai. Mena ia na e toma diho. Mena Israel taruhana e loheni e to tore isi barnabe. Yehova e se midian e na ore I doina na mui mamui ai. Wada e atodia. Mena ia se hari tatau sinahu. Toyo si hari die. Ore to I rojai ki bibo na hodu e henidia. Hodu lalo dia na kele. Mena e amaro di e to lau wai tau. Hoto hogu taruha I sena I pai na kawai. Lau bai na kare hegeri kena. Na mui dan bakare. Amai pamoku I bodia ida. E mai kibi ba e hiriri neganai. Na mui dan e mui kibi ba hiriri. E dia taruha hegege matai bena balolo. Pato Yehova bagurai bona Gideon bagurai. Gideon e tuari. Maloki hia I Gideon e pamoa tauri e sina utai. Taruha I sina e ka. Hekima negana I haruna e gini dava. Taudi e atadi e nega. Edia kibi e hiriri bona edia hodu e hamakobi. And ore toyo si taudi e se edia kibi e hiriri bona edia hodu e hamakobi. And kere na imadi e lauri dia e tudui isi. A kibi be imadi e idibadi e abi e hiriri. And e lolo e to Yehova e na dare bona Gideon e na. Tata e na gabu e gini. Taruha e gini hegege. And a tuari ore na I doina e hea. E lolo dagu bona e hea o karoho. Kibi sina hui toyo si e hiriri. Nega na Yehova se tuari taudi e hadara dia. Mena tata e na dare e api. E hea Tabatam Taparinoi. Beni Israel Tauri and Napatali, Amabuna Aseribunu, Amabuna Manese, Idoina, Boridi, Benediese, Midian Tauri, Ahavadia, Ephraim Tauri, Hidu, Benegidian is a Gokau Tauri, Ephraim, Borodia, Idoidia, Eto, Ahekemai. Midian Tauri, Batuari, Henidia, Bonavan, Gabudia, Bonabete Bona Yuridane, Sinavainadan, Bagimatia. Tauna Punai, Ephraim Tauri, Ibodia, Eporidia, Benarano Kabude, Egimatia, Bonabete Bona Yuridane, Sinavainadan. Midian Lohia, dear Raduas, Tanu, Abudia. Oreb no Oreb, Haganadinai. Alaya Mase, Bonosebe, Nasebe, and Avini Ranuna Eat, Tualai Nakapunai, Alaya Mase. Midian Taudi, Ahavadia, Neganai. When Oripona Sebe, Party, and Ukidi, and Dekana, Lau Idea, Yuridani Sinavina Nakahana.
What a champion reading. Thanks for that, Top Gun. Yeah, it was quite good entertainment. Before I go into the Daka Ediseni Erenagai Daka Dino Edibamona. To enter Erenagai is always interesting for me because I have to go back and read a bit ahead of this, like the chapter before. In my readings this time, I do that in English. In my readings this time, it was cool to me to find out that Gideon, when he received his dream from God, or when the angel of God came and spoke to him, he was a bit like scared and a bit of a refusal, common sort of approaches, and one of his excuses was he was the last in his family, like the weakest in his family, and his family wasn't like a strong family at all, amongst the tribes of Israel, I think. So that was cool. He also was the guy who said, okay, to prove it's the angel of the Lord, do this thing, I'll go to sleep, I'll put the wool fleece down, and if it's all dewy in the morning, but the paper or the ground around it is dry, then I'll believe you. But then it happened the first night, and then he said, no, wait, actually, if you do the reverse, and now all the grass is dewy, but the wool fleece is dry, then I'll believe you. So then, of course, God was able to do that, and then he had to believe him, and he had to go and deliver his people from the Midianites. So always good, fun trying to figure out the Edena guy, and worth your time reading English and more to like either side by side. I don't know if that surely that's one of the most common ways for Taubatas that have gone into Motuan marriages and created the mixed families. Surely that's a common, like that's pretty timeless way of learning it, I'd imagine. Anyway, Daika was Gideon, or Jerubbaal in English, or what did his dad was actually Yoasa or Yoese. Yeah, Yoasa. And he at night, Gideon went to I imagine must have been the town place, and he tore down the Asherah pole and the shrines to Baal, and then his father, probably just looking after him, like all the people found out because he did it at night time in secret. All the people in the tribe wanted to kill him, and then Yoasa, Gideon's dad, said, let Baal deal with him and kill him, he doesn't need defending. So good save from dad. Another case of dad saving the sons again, which is really good. Yeah, so Gideon, in a Tuari Taudia, his soldiers, Sinahu Toyosi, that's the 300. So the 300 sort of rule, or that sort of army, made famous to me by the movie, but historians by that Roman, I guess, talent squad of killers. Gideon, he chose them by, God sending people home that were scared, sending people home that were, I forgot what the other one was, something else, but the last selection method was, if you lap the water, petadai sisiana heheto, if you lick the water, or you lapped it like a dog. Anyway, dahaka wera bena imadia amo ranu e karobona, maladia amo e petadai taudi na sinahu toi. So he said, then from his hand water ranu e karo, like you ricey karo, but you ranu karo bona maladia amo e petadai taudi na sinahu toi. So that's 300. Already ibore na tui diho rano e dodo. Dodo is a shout out to Little Pete and the Kayavis. Talking about dodo asleep, but rano e dodo already ibore na tui diho. So the last of the soldiers that were being cut, they would tui diho, they'd get on their knee, and then they would rano e dodo. So I don't know if that's like topoa, but or dodo, were on their knee. I reckon they probably they blocked the stream. Who knows what they did? I'll have to ask him more to him. Maloki hiai, Gideon e bamua, tauria sina hutaida. So Maloki hiai is at midnight, Gideon e bamua, tauria. So people who were like with Gideon were 100. Taruha is in a cow. Taruha is a word that I don't hear, and I assume it means the town or the camp. Isenai, so next to the camp they arrived. Hegima neganai iharunai hegini dava. So this means the Hegima is the guard. It was the second changeover, Hegini dava. Second sitting, or whatever you call it when you guard. Yeah, so it was when it was the second guard time. Bena area kibi e hiriri bon area hodu e hamakoi. So then the trumpet e hiriri, another word that I didn't really know till this passage. Hiriri being, kibi is in the trumpets, they go. So the kibi, they go. So the trumpets blow, or they sound. Wana edia hodu e hamaki. So hodu is the jars of clay. Haru e hamaki. They actually hid kere candles in them. Or torches, and they smashed them, and then they they held them up and blew the trumpets. They shouted really loud, and then they actually the enemies, they hadara means they confused them, and then they these confused guys in the camp, they felt that they were so surrounded that they ran crazy and started killing each other. Edeseni, where did this happen? Eguni hiai baru de ke natai heke my Midian taruhane. So that's a long way of saying it happened in Midian taruhane. Kalaga auta ai tatakau. So they all got to the Kalaga is the camp. Bena Kalaga nai Kohu, they closed off the camp. Gigi Dobi Tanoi. They surrounded it on the ground. That's just happening in Midian. Also note that Midian, when Gideon and Hasi Nadoa, Gideon spied the land and the people. They were numerous as the sand. Idua Hidia Asiribana, I think is what they said in Mosul. Like you couldn't count how many of them there was. It seemed like there was a ton of them, and he wasn't too keen, but God said, go for it, you can take them. I'll give them Imam by Natodi. I'm going to give them into your hands is like common Old Testament language. I have already said that. I hope you can remember what Malokihi is, especially because I would like saying Malo. First time I heard it was Malawai, and I told Mom, and I was like, oh, that means midnight. And then Malo, and then but Maloa is also like drown. So it's like Malawai and Maloa, like he drowned at midnight. It would be like a little something news, not good news, but so Malo. Dakadainai, why did this happen? Midian Taurina Idia, Imadia Bama Todia, Israel na Lauvaira Guai Bema Hekokoroku. So this is God, or God's angel speaking. Midian Taurina Idia Imadia Bama Todia. If God put Bama Todia Midian and their people into their hands with as many soldiers as they did have. Originally, I think it was Gerabu or something, like 1,000. Israel and Lauvaira Guai. Israel in front of me, they might Hekokoroku, they might boast and say, Bematoma, they might say, Aisibomai Mamai Amavara Ahe Maori Mai. So Aisibomai, us ourselves, Imamai, with our hands, from our hands, we saved ourselves, and God would allow a lot of things in terms of sin, but He definitely wants people to know that we can't save ourselves. The way I see it now is time and chance happens to us all, and that's God's favor, absolutely. Edabamana, how did this happen? Rano Petata, Taudi, Sina, Toyosi, Ediamo, Lawesebina, Hamarimui. So, Rano Petadai, I hope you remember what that means. Rano Petadai, Taudi, Sina, Toyosi, Sina, Toyosi, 300. Ediamo, Lawesebina, Hamarimui. I'm gonna save you from those 300 on the Midian Taurina Oimamwai Baina Todia, and I'll give them into your hands, the Midianites. Good on him for Gideon for doing that as the weakest in his family and from a family that's not supposed to be powerful or whatever. In the camp, listening to his dream, and then God obviously doing it as God did it. He said it to his soldiers as well. Lau baitaku tohoku. It means do it exactly as I say. That was his instructions when they got to the camp. And that's pretty good because he was doing what God told him to do as well. So he was able to tell them that. He did tell them to say Yehovah Bagunai Bona Gideon Bagunai, which is like in the name of God and of Gideon, or like in for Gideon and for God and for Gideon. And then when they did do it though, they said was it Yehovah and Adare Bona Gideon and Adare? That's God's sword and Gideon's sword. So that got a bit lost in translation in the pep talk. But yeah, something I noticed and was interesting. Alrighty, thanks for listening. best MSL. Hope my voice held up and the media was all good, and the policeman and everyone else listening learned something new, or just enjoyed the story or the singing or any part of it. Once again, happy birthday, Phil Roberts. Sorry I couldn't be there. Trying to look after myself a little bit. Alright, episode 10 coming up. I'll keep all the links for the next episode in the description, so hopefully you follow that chain link. See ya. Pamoto.